Welcome to the fascinating world of the School of Philosophy, which not only offers us a deep understanding of ourselves and the world around us, but also promotes the development of our intellect. Today we will embark on an exciting journey, uncovering 10 powerful Stoic techniques that will help us expand our minds, overcome obstacles, and become the best version of ourselves. The fast-paced pace of modern life often makes us forget the importance of inner development and self-control, but Stoic philosophy offers us a great roadmap to wisdom and emotional strength. We all undoubtedly face challenges and difficulties, but we must be able to not only accept these challenges, but also use them as opportunities for growth and development. One of the key ideas of Stoicism is to control our thoughts and emotions rather than letting them control us. Today, we will learn how to use our will and mind to achieve harmony and balance in everything we do. Let's immerse ourselves in the wisdom of Stoicism and discover new horizons in our intellectual growth. Technique number 1. Set clear and achievable goals for yourself. Goal setting is a powerful tool that allows us to identify what we want to accomplish and create an action plan to realize those goals. The Stoics taught us that having clear and specific goals helps us navigate through life, develop organization, and use our intellect most effectively. Marcus Aurelius said, "Set yourself a goal each day to be a little better than you were yesterday." Let's say you want to become more erudite and start reading more books. Instead of just wishing, you can set a goal to read 1 book a month. Then you can develop a plan where you determine what you will read each day, set aside time to read, and set intermediate goals. In this way, you will create structure and direction for your intellectual development. After all, we remember the words of the great Marcus Aurelius. A goal is not only a dream, it is a plan of action. Goal setting is a powerful tool that helps us develop our intelligence and achieve important results in life. It allows us to clearly define our desires, create specific action plans, and stay focused on achieving results. Remember that goal setting is a process that requires discipline and consistency. Even small steps toward your goal can lead to significant results. Don't be afraid to set ambitious goals and strive to achieve them. Develop your intelligence through goal setting, and you will find that your potential is far greater than you ever imagined. Technique number 2. Use your time effectively. Remember, time is our most valuable resource, and we must manage it skillfully. As the Stoic Seneca said, "Gold can be regained, lost time can never be regained." Divide your tasks into important and less important, and then focus on accomplishing those that matter most to you and your purpose. Imagine that your time is drops of water falling into an endless pool. Each drop represents an opportunity to do something important and meaningful. If you scatter your drops into a multitude of small tasks, they dissolve into water and lose their value. But if you direct each drop to a specific place, they create a powerful wave that can change your life. As the Stoic Marcus Aurelius said, "Life is made up of moments. Do not miss them." When we focus on tasks that bring us closer to our goals, we not only manage our time wisely, but we actively develop our mental faculties. Every task we undertake represents an opportunity for learning and growth. When we devote time to learning new knowledge, mastering new skills, or solving complex problems, we stimulate our brains and expand our cognitive abilities. This is like a workout for our intellect, making it stronger and more flexible. Effective time management also allows us to avoid useless distractions and information noise that can negatively affect our ability to concentrate and analyze. Instead, we can incorporate time for self-education and self-study into our daily routines. When we are able to separate the important from the unimportant, we make room for what truly contributes to our growth and self-development. Remember that every day is a new opportunity to get better, develop your skills, and achieve your goals. Take the challenge to use your time effectively, be mindful of your thoughts and surroundings, and strive for continuous self-improvement. Your actions today will determine your life tomorrow. Technique number 3. Be able to be in the present moment and aware of your thoughts. Stoicism is an ancient school of philosophy that calls us to wisdom, calmness, and reason. One of the key teachings is to be able to be in the present moment and aware of your thoughts. Stoics teach us to appreciate and embrace the present moment by being aware of our thoughts and emotions. Not only is this a way to achieve inner peace, but it is also a powerful technique for increasing our intelligence. Let's take a closer look at this technique and see how it can help us to increase our intellectual effectiveness. Often, our minds wander with thoughts in the past or future, distracting us from the present moment. We get bogged down in thinking about past events, regretting past mistakes, or worrying about what might happen in the future. These thoughts scatter and break our attention, making us less efficient at accomplishing tasks and understanding the world around us. However, the Stoics taught us that mindfulness and staying in the present moment are the keys to increasing intelligence. When we are able to become aware of our thoughts and stay in the present, we become more attentive to detail and more able to analyze and synthesize information. Imagine you're sitting at a desk and your task is to learn complex new information. Your mind begins to wander, distracted by your worries and concerns. Instead of letting these thoughts dominate you, you apply the Stoic technique of mindfulness. You notice your mind drifting away, and without judgment, you acknowledge that fact. You then take a deep breath and purposefully return to the present moment. You fully immerse yourself in studying the information, seeking to understand and memorize the key points. Then your concentration and ability to analyze increases, and your intellectual performance improves. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The past and the future cannot affect us if we live in the present." Practicing mindful awareness and being in the present moment opens the door to deeper understanding, wisdom, and intellectual growth. Focusing on the present and being aware of your thoughts will be a powerful tool for increasing your intelligence and achieving success in life. Technique number 4. Make time for reflection and introspection. In today's world, we are constantly busy with things to do, information, and various distractions. We rarely take the time to reflect and introspect. However, it is in these moments that we can learn valuable lessons and understand ourselves more deeply. When we set aside time for reflection and introspection, it allows us to ask ourselves questions, sincerely seek answers, and understand our thoughts, feelings, and motivations. In these moments, we become more aware and intellectually developed. Imagine you have a conflict situation at work. Instead of reacting automatically and emotionally, you decide to set aside time for reflection and introspection. You find a quiet place and begin to ask yourself questions. You ask yourself questions such as, why does this situation evoke such strong emotions? How could my actions and reactions be more constructive? What lessons can I learn from this situation? Your mind begins to search for answers, and gradually you begin to see the situation from a different perspective. You realize that your emotions may have been triggered by fear or an incomplete understanding of the situation. Then, you begin to see opportunities for constructive conflict resolution, and your intellect begins to work on finding rational solutions. Applying this technique to everyday life can be very useful. This technique helps us understand our strengths and weaknesses, our priorities and values, and develops our capacity for analytical thinking and self-reflection. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, time set aside for reflection is never wasted. When we set aside time for reflection and self-reflection, we become more aware of ourselves and the world around us. We gain clarity of thought, improve our judgment, and make more informed decisions. Take a look at your life and find moments when you can set aside time for reflection and introspection. It could be a morning walk in the park, time alone, or even a few minutes before bed. Pay attention to your thoughts, ask yourself questions, and strive for self-discovery. In this way, you will open the door to new horizons of intelligence and wisdom. Technique number 5. Practice self-control and self-discipline. The great philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Self-control and self-discipline are key elements in the development of intelligence." These words embody the powerful principles of Stoicism, a philosophical teaching that can help us increase our intelligence and achieve harmony in life. One of the powerful techniques that the Stoics used to develop their intelligence was the practice of self-control of their thoughts and emotions. When we have self-control, we become more aware and able to make considered decisions without being influenced by momentary impulses. For example, imagine you are working on a project and encounter difficulties. Instead of allowing frustration or anxiety to overwhelm you, self-control allows you to remain calm and clear-headed so that you can find rational solutions and keep moving forward. You'll be able to analyze the facts and make informed decisions based on reason rather than fleeting emotional outbursts. But how do you learn to develop self-control? This is where self-discipline helps very well. As for self-discipline, this is our ability to stick to established goals and action plans, even if it requires effort and giving up instant gratification. All of these help us develop consistency, persistence, and patience. Imagine you have decided to improve your study habits. When we are disciplined, it helps us create systematicity, such as setting aside time to study a language every day, even if you're tired or tempted to put it off for later. Self-discipline develops consistency, persistence, and patience in achieving our goals. Practicing the skills of self-control and self-discipline in our daily lives helps us form habits that promote intelligence, which allows us to utilize our mental resources more effectively and become increasingly flexible and adaptive in different situations. We become more self-confident, more self-regulated, and more focused on achieving our goals. This opens up new opportunities for growth and development, both in our personal and professional lives. Technique number 6. Free yourself from negative emotions. Have you noticed how negative emotions such as anger, fear, and anxiety can not only interfere with our daily lives, but can also have a negative impact on our decisions? These emotions distract our attention, interfere with clear thinking, and can lead us to make rash decisions. The Stoics understood that emotions arise from our thoughts and our evaluations of the events that occur in life, not the events themselves. They taught us that we can change our attitudes and turn our attention to what we can control, our mind. One of the Stoics' powerful techniques for increasing intelligence is the splitting of an emotion. This technique involves splitting the emotion into two parts, the event and our reaction to it. Imagine you receive a negative review of your work, but instead of reacting emotionally and allowing anger or frustration to overwhelm you, you can separate the event from your reaction to it. Instead of allowing negative emotions to take over you, think about how you can use this feedback as an opportunity to improve your skills and knowledge. Maybe you can learn valuable lessons from this situation and become better at your profession. By applying the technique of releasing negative emotions, we grow intellectually because we become more conscious and rational in our decisions. We stop allowing emotions to overwhelm us and interfere with clear thinking. Although emotions are an integral part of the human experience, we must be able to control them and, when necessary, free ourselves from their negative shackles for our own development. Incorporating Stoic philosophy into our lives helps us to strengthen our intellect and achieve a deeper understanding of the world around us. By freeing ourselves from negative emotions, we open the door to mental clarity and the development of our intellectual abilities. Technique number 7. Apply logical thinking to decision-making. One of the key practices that can greatly increase our intelligence is applying logical thinking to decision-making. The Stoics believed that rationality and objectivity were the surest guides to truth and virtue. When we apply logical thinking, we develop the ability to analyze objectively, to see a situation from all sides, and to make informed decisions. Marcus Aurelius said, "Reason governs everything, yourself, other things, the whole universe." By following this principle, we can increasingly rely on rationality rather than emotion or prejudice, which will eventually and inevitably lead us to grow in intelligence. Of course, logical thinking requires constant practice and self-discipline. Let's imagine that you receive an offer of a transfer to a new position with a higher salary, but with additional responsibilities that cause you some hesitation. Rather than giving in to an emotional desire for a promotion, the Stoics would urge us to analyze this situation consistently with logic. The first step is to scrutinize all the details of the new offer. What exactly are the additional responsibilities that will be assigned to us? How different are they from your current job, and do they require new skills? Next, we can assess how well this new job aligns with your long-term career goals and values. Will it contribute to our professional growth and development, or is it simply aimed at a short-term increase in income? As Seneca said, short-term gain often leads to long-term harm. Weighing these factors will help us understand if this position is really right for us. The next step is to evaluate the pros and cons of this offer. What advantages does it offer us in terms of income, career prospects, experience? On the other hand, what risks or negative consequences do we see, for example, in terms of reputation, burnout, work-life balance? Ultimately, by evaluating all these arguments, we can make a more informed decision. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, "Don't look for easy paths, look for the right ones." By applying this logical, fact-based approach to all areas of our lives, we can avoid impulsive decisions that can create difficulties for us in the future. This is why regular use of logical thinking will gradually develop our rational decision-making skills. And this is the important quality of an intellectually developed person. Technique number 8. Strive for constant learning. Study the beautiful in all things, for all things are connected, so said Marcus Aurelius. These words call us to be eternal learners, to constantly absorb new knowledge from any field, be it history, science, art, philosophy, or any other field you aspire to. There is no limit to the development of our minds because man is capable of constantly improving and learning about the world. Epictetus urged us to see every situation as an opportunity for learning. Treat everything that happens as an opportunity to improve yourself. Even everyday events, encounters with people, and solving everyday problems can be a source of valuable lessons if we look at them with curiosity and openness. Stoicism teaches us to see the whole world as a vast school of life in which every incident, every encounter, every thought becomes a lesson for our intellect. When we are open to new knowledge and experiences, we broaden our horizons and improve our cognitive abilities. Constant learning helps us not only assimilate new information, but also develop critical and analytical thinking. Imagine that you are proficient in a certain professional field, let's say programming. You can stop there and continue to do your work according to a template. However, If you are committed to continuous learning, you will seek out new technologies, learn the latest trends in programming, and improve your skills, which will ultimately lead you to a number of benefits. You will stay current in your field. Continuous learning will help you expand your knowledge and become an expert in your field, or lead to new career opportunities and higher salary. And of course, learning will develop your intellect, improve your ability to analyze, think clearly. As Seneca said, education is the light that enables us to see farther and understand deeper. By applying this technique of continuous learning in our lives, we trigger a powerful mechanism for our development. So always try to be open to new knowledge, keep up with the times, and constantly develop your intellect. Technique number 9. Know how to refuse instant gratification and control your desires. Often we succumb to the temptation of instant gratification. This can be putting tasks off instead of completing them, spending endless hours on social media, or watching useless content. All of these moments bring us short-term pleasure, but can ultimately distract us from our goal. Stoics teach us to control our desires and refuse instant gratification. They encourage us to be mindful and sensible in our lives. When we know how to give up instant gratification, we can focus on more important things, such as studying, reading books, practicing skills, or solving complex problems. Imagine you have a task that needs to be completed, but you also want to watch a new episode of your favorite show. Instead of putting off the task and satisfying your desire for immediate entertainment, you can apply the technique of giving up instant gratification. You decide to complete the task first and then reward yourself by watching the episode. Of course, this requires self-control and conscious choices, but the result is that you not only complete the task, but you also develop your ability to manage your desires. This strengthens your willpower and increases your concentration, which in turn promotes intellectual growth. This technique can also be useful when learning new skills or areas of knowledge. Let's say you want to learn a new language, but you have the urge to put your studies on hold and do something more enjoyable. Instead of giving in to this urge, you can apply the technique of giving up instant gratification. You create a regular schedule for language learning and stick to it, despite the urge to deviate from that plan that arises. In this way, you develop your discipline and perseverance, which helps your personal growth. After all, as Seneca said, only those who are able to restrain their desires and control their minds can make true intellectual progress. Ultimately, by developing the ability to refuse instant gratification and control our desires, we discover the path to increased intelligence. Self-control, discipline, and conscious choice are required here, but we will end up with much more than instant gratification. Technique number 10. Be resilient in the face of adversity. Only in the fire of adversity can we separate the gold from the impurities, and true strong minds are manifested in harsh conditions. These wise words of Seneca remind us of the importance of fortitude in the face of adversity. When we become resilient, we develop mental flexibility, the ability to adapt to new situations and find solutions, even in the most difficult circumstances. Life constantly throws challenges and difficulties in front of us. We face setbacks, obstacles, disappointments, and stress. Often we are tempted to give up, crumple under pressure, and retreat. However, the Stoics call us to be resilient and steadfast in the face of such trials. When we develop resilience, we learn to overcome challenges despite our initial reaction or emotional state. We find the strength to carry on and find solutions even when things seem hopeless. Imagine you are working on a challenging project and suddenly problems arise that seem unsolvable. You have two choices: give up and tell yourself that you are unable to cope, or be resilient and look for solutions. If you choose the last option, you begin to analyze the problem, look for alternative approaches, enlist the help of colleagues, or conduct additional research. As a result, you may find a solution that previously seemed impossible. In the process, you develop your thinking, creativity, and ability to solve life's problems, all important components of intelligence. Our growth requires us to continually develop and improve ourselves. Remember, when we remain resilient in the face of adversity, we learn to overcome our limitations and push the boundaries of our intellectual potential. After all, true strength and wisdom are revealed in moments of difficulty. The key ideas of the Stoics that we have touched on today are truly invaluable. Seneca said, "Wisdom is not what you have been given, but what you have nurtured in yourself." The lessons of the ancient Stoics are still relevant today when we are faced with limitless opportunities for development. By putting them into practice, we unlock the limitless potential of the human mind. Thus, we become true thinkers, able to see the world in all its depth and complexity. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos. Strive for continuous personal growth and allow your intellect to blossom to its full potential.